Hi, Ethan. This is going to be actually our last lesson of the week. It's quite a difficult lesson, so if you need more time, that's why I'm only sending you this one today. Plus, some of you in school this week as well, so you're very busy getting back to school and so on. So this one should see you through to the end of the week. Um, we have got three lessons, so I'd imagine that this will take at least two to get through. So I'll give you a little bit of space to make sure you finish it off by Friday. Okay, we're looking at our fourth extract today, and this is all part of our preparation for the Macbeth exam that you'll face in Year 11. So let's move on. The extract obviously is, as you can see on the screen here, or if you've already looked at the PDF in the classroom, it's from Act 5, Scene 8, and it's the final scene where Macduff and Macbeth meet and fight. And like with all the other extracts we've looked at, you have to focus on this part of the play. You should avoid making any references to other parts of the play, so stay focused on the bit I've given you. And when you write about this, try and analyse the use of language, the use of form, so the fact of the play, and the structure. So, for example, the sentence structure or the way the characters communicate with each other, the way they exchange their words. And once you've and the effect that each one of those things has, and wherever possible, please use subject terminology. So I'm going to take you through step by step the extract. So I've got here on the screen now, I've got your structure for paragraph 1 down the left hand side. I've got your question at the top of the page here. Let's see what video light will do. So here is the question at the top here, that box there. And here I have given you a kind of clue to what I think you should be writing about in this paragraph, okay? So this is the topic for this paragraph. Macbeth feels he can win the battle, okay? So this is the first speech in the extract. Macbeth comes on stage and says, "Why should I play the Roman fool and die on my own sword? While I see lives, the gashes do better upon them." So he starts off this speech with a question: "Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword?" And that's a reference to the Roman cultural beliefs that when in battle, if the odds were against you, if you were vastly outnumbered, if it was inevitably you're going to lose the fight, then it was noble to die on your own sword, to effectively commit suicide, and that was an option that Roman culture accepted. Macbeth is referring to that and saying, "Why should I do that? Um, I've got lives ahead. I've got lives as in people to fight, and they look better, all cut up with gashes, compared to me." So basically, he'd rather fight on, kill more people, than take his own life, and that would suggest that he feels he can win the battle. Okay, so that's your first paragraph. We'll be dealing with that first speech. Okay. Second paragraph. Just like the first paragraph, you've got a question there at the top. How is it represented in this extract? And on this occasion, I've given you this topic to focus on, which is that Macbeth is scared of Macduff, but pretends he isn't. So let's see how that appears in this extract. Macduff, enter Macduff. Macduff says, "Turn, hellhound, turn. Macbeth, of all men else I've avoided thee, but get thee back. My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already." Macduff says, "I have no words. My voice is in my sword. Thou bloody villain, than terms can give thee out." So we're looking at the Macbeth speech here, in the middle of this page. And first of all, he's scared of Macduff. So, of all men else I've avoided thee. That means of all the men on this battlefield, I've tried to stay away from you. But pretends that he's pretending he's not scared of Macduff by then saying, my soul is too much charged with blood, and already saying, I've already killed too many Macduffs in my life. I'm not going to kill any more. So he's pretending he's not scared of Macduff. He's scared of Macduff because he knows Macduff could damage him. So that's the evidence. You know, there's the line that says he's scared of him. I've avoided you, and then the other part saying the excuse or the explanation that I've spilled too much of your blood already. Okay, so you can have a play around with that quote as you do your second paragraph. Moving on to paragraph 3. Once again, the overall topic of the question is there at the top in the blue box. And then the third paragraph, we're looking at this point today. Sorry, this point in this paragraph, the idea that Macbeth is invincible or thinks he's invincible. So he says, thou losest labour. Then basically means you're wasting your time. Thou losest labour, and as easy mayst thou the entrenchant air with thy keen sword impresses make me bleed. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one of woman born. So he's basically saying you're wasting your energy, you're losing your energy, your labour, you're wasting your time. It's as easy for you to cut the air to actually as to make me bleed. Okay, so basically you can't hurt the air and you can't hurt me. Let fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. You know, go away and fight other people who you can hurt. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born. So the boasting bit here is probably the most obvious line. I bear a charmed life which must not yield to one of woman born. But the whole thing is a boast, and that shows, you know, in terms of his character, that he's quite overly confident. All right, so you can now have a look at your third paragraph. Use that quote or use something else that you like in this little speech, and then complete the structure. Make sure you zoom in and you go into some deeper analysis. The fourth paragraph. So I'm really trying to stretch you today to make you write a bit more. That's why I've given you just the rest of the week to complete this work. Again, the big questions at the top of the page, and then we have our focus for this paragraph, which is the idea that Macbeth realizes that he's vulnerable, becomes scared. The fear that he had actually now takes over. Macduff says, despair thy charm, and let the angel who thou still hast served tell thee Macduff was from his mother's womb untimely ripped. So we know that means that Macduff was born by caesarean section, and that means technically he wasn't a woman born, which is obviously what the witches told Macbeth. Macbeth reacts to that. Accursed be the tongue that tells me so, for it hath cowed my better part of man. Okay, that's the first reference there that says that he's scared. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that palter with us in a double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee. So the two bits I've highlighted are the bits that suggest that he's vulnerable and scared. Cow, the best part of man, that means the best part of man is his bravery. Cowardly is kind of reduced. And obviously the last line, I'll not fight with thee, indicates that he is not prepared to actually engage in combat now. So complete your paragraph 4 on this. Use the structure at the side of the page here, and the evidence, obviously you can choose one of those quotes or both of them if you want to get a really good paragraph. And finally, your last paragraph. Again, there at the top of the page is the big question, and we are focusing on the final paragraph. Macbeth regains, I should say, some courage at the end. Macbeth says, So Macduff says, "Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee, as our rare monsters are, painted on a pole and underwrit, here may you see the tyrant." That's a horrible threat from Macduff. He calls Macbeth a coward, and then basically says, "Look, we're going to win this fight, and you're going to be put on on a show. We're going to embarrass and humiliate you in front of everybody. We'll tie you to a pole, and we'll just drag you around the countryside so that everybody can see the tyrant, like some kind of freak show." Macbeth responds, "I will not yield. To kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rebel's curse, though Burnham would become to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born, yet I will try the last. Before my body I throw my warlike shield, lay on Macduff, and damned be him that first cries, hold enough." That is Macbeth's last line of the play. And the point you should try and make here is that he goes out with some courage. He demonstrates a little bit of bravery right at the end. And if you notice, they exit fighting. Okay, he goes off stage. The last time we see him alive, his sword is swinging and he's trying to fight and kill Macduff. So, if you haven't written about a stage direction yet, then that might be a really good one to go to, because what's the implication of him going off stage fighting? You could write about that. You could talk about how he's not going to give up. He refuses to yield. That word means surrender. You could talk about the rhyming couplet at the end to indicate that this is his final ending, at the end moment of his life. He's not going to say anything more. This is his last exit. We don't see him alive again. You could talk about the "I will try the last. I'm going to give up. I'm going to keep going until I die." You know, his last action, as in my final action, will be to try and win this war. So there's loads you could do in terms of his demonstrating courage in his final speech. It's just so rich, this last one. So complete your fifth paragraph now, and obviously, like with all the paragraphs so far in this assignment, try and make sure you've done all 5 steps, and obviously, then turn your work in by by the end of Friday. Okay, folks. So if I see you in school tomorrow, that'd be great. If not, have a really good week. Turn your work in on Friday, so it's all done, and then I'll look forward to marking it over the weekend. All right, guys, take care. If you've got any questions, please email or drop me a comment.